My man Tyson,
this is what I'm
he's gonna get you saying that right now. And then we're gonna post it so the world can see it. Yeah, so we'll just rap about y'all do an interview, we do an interview, y'all go put it up, we go put it up, so it already be circulated. Yeah, and then she could write it too, but I think putting it on the internet today would make it more.
Peace and Black Power, family. House of Consciousness, we are here, we are on the road. Me, my brother Seville, brother Natural Tahuti. We came out here to show our brothers some love because they're doing great works out here in Philadelphia, trying to raise a level of consciousness up of our people. Right here at Black and Noble Books, man, where they doing great things at. And I just had to come out here, Nobel Bookstore, my bad. Nobel Bookstore. I had to come out here, man, where they're showing so much love for our people and just help promote this business as well. Because we want to throw this up there and make sure all of our people, a lot of our people get to come on up here. All right, so I want to bring on my brother, Seville. Brother Seville, man, say a few words for our brothers right here, man.
Peace and Black Power.
Peace.
You know, I'm so honored, man, actually to be in this environment where a lot of brothers who have came, who have power, who have intelligence, and who are faithful to their people. I must give a shout out to Black and Noble because they've been doing the work that needs to be done, not only in Philadelphia, but this message that they are giving is going around the world. You know what I'm saying? So I must give a shout out to them brothers. You know, and I wanted to come here for one other purpose because me and Brother Umar Johnson, you know what I'm saying, have done a couple of lectures together. You know what I'm saying? You know, the black relationship to the black man, black woman, we did that. And we also did one that stated about children. So I had to also come to the place where he comes from. And most important, I had to support my brother Natural Tahuti on the spirit power of the black woman being God. She has been abused, she has been misused, and she has been put in many positions where she have not been given her respect.
That's right, Seville, bring it out. Bring it out.
Black power, man.
Black power.
No question. Peace and Black Power.
Peace.
Black power, Black power. First and foremost, I want to give some love to North Philadelphia. You know what I mean? We finally made it down here to this giant bookstore called Black and Nobel. Y'all doing big things. And of course, at the end of the day, it's all about the unity. Right. So we're not going to be on this slave mentality. Oh, I'm from Mr. Gilmore property and you from over here. Or I'm from New York and you from Philly. We ain't on that. This is love and unity, right? Because what we're trying to do is raise the level of consciousness of our people. Our people are suffering at the hands of white supremacy, right? The only reason why we have carnated into this day and time, into this bodily flesh, there's only one reason here. Not to get you a Mercedes-Benz, not to say that to have one is not nice, right? Not to get you a house, not to say that not to have one is not nice, but the only reason that you are incarnated into this physical flesh is to dismantle white supremacy. At the end of the day, white supremacy must go. And as you know, my message is simple. The black woman is God. The black woman was your first mother. She was your first teacher. And we come from an ancient history of very powerful matriarch. We come from women who are divine, and her story has not been told. So on April 14th, right here at Black and Nobel, I'm going to do a lecture. The name of the lecture is called The Distortion of African Historical and Spiritual Reality. I'm going to decode biblical truths. I'm going to decode the Bible and show you right there in the Old Testament, right there in the New Testament, the war that was perpetrated against the black woman. I'm going to show you that the whole world had worshipped the great black mother. Not only that, the black woman was worshipped. People from everywhere would come to her temples just to bow down to her feet.
Come on, bro.
You understand me? So this message, we got to continue to hammer this over and over and over again. Because I need to say this about the black man. We come from a line of brothers who are so powerful. Because the black man is powerful. They were so evolved. These men were so evolved that they understood that the womb that we came from was precious. They understood that the womb we came from was divine. And so they reverenced that woman. She was and is God, because black women are magical. Our women are very magical. And on that day, April 14th, I'm going to discuss just how magical the black woman is. So the European understands that. That's why he got you looking for aliens coming from outer space, because he knows that the alien that will return to this planet will come from the space between the black woman's legs. He understands that. He understands that the gods are returning. And when I talk about the gods, I want you to understand something. I am not talking about mythology. When I talk about the goddess, I'm not talking about mythology.
What you talking about?
I am talking about our ancient mothers that walked the planet Earth.
All right.
When I talk about the gods of Egypt, I'm not talking about ancient mythology. I want you to understand it is a misnomer to believe that the gods of ancient Egypt were mythological. They do represent high principles, but not only do they represent principles, but they represent real black men and women that walk the planet Earth. And you need to understand and realize that. You need to understand that our ancestors who came via West Africa, we are cosmologically or cosmogenetically connected to some very powerful individuals. And before we incarnated, we signed a contract. We signed a contract, and that's the only reason you're conscious right now. Because I want you to think about all of the millions of people around you right now. They're not conscious. They don't know what the hell is going on. But you are conscious. So what makes you different from all of the millions of other people that are here? Because in your past lives, in your past incarnations, you signed a contract. You signed a contract to put mama back on the throne. That is the reason that we are here. We are here to dismantle white supremacy, and we are here to give reverence back to the great mother from which we came. We are so great as black men because it is a very evolved man who understands that testosterone is powerful, right? We know that. We know we can kick her butt. But that's not what makes you God. What makes you God is because you humble yourself and you give reverence to the mother that you come from. For you to think that the woman is not God, for you to not to give that reverence to that woman, that's like pissing on your mama. That's like pissing on your mother. You understand? We all came from women. And so if we are to get out of this situation that we are in, we have to go back to reverencing the womb, because it is the womb that needs to be prepared. I want you to think of the scripture where Jesus told Peter, he said, listen, I'm not coming back down here to y'all. I'm going to prepare the kingdom. He said, I'm not coming back to you, but you're going to have to come to me. So what we got to do is prepare the kingdom. The kingdom is the stargate of the woman's womb. When those women begin to start thinking on a divine level, they are going to start attracting the gods to come back to this planet. The only reason we are here is because we were attracted to the mother that gave us birth. We knew we was coming here before we got here. We chose the parents that we got. Because everybody is here, we got lessons to learn from one another, and we have to continue the work that we did before we got here. We was fighting with this beast in a past life, and we're going to fight in this life, and we're going to continue this fight until we replace the black woman back on the throne. She is the original God, and we are the sons of God. And that makes us that's very honorable to be a son of God.
Yes, sir.
It makes you very honorable. I want you to know and understand. And when I bring that fire, it's going to be a PowerPoint presentation.
Because, I mean, y'all never been to Philly during the lecture, so I'm honored that y'all chose here. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? No question. And, you know, we already got a nice history of people coming here from the city, not just to do lectures, the artists and So people know about it, so I'm glad that y'all, the buzz is buzzing that much for y'all to come down. When I seen you the other day, I wanted to, you was on it, so thank you, because I wanted to make it where as though you did something on February, but it was all booked up. So now that it's warm, that's better. Yeah,
because I was in Philly, I said, wait a minute. Like a Noble, let me stop over there before I get out of town. Nobel.
Yeah, everybody says
Noble,
but it's Nobel.
Okay, Nobel, I got you.
I'm going to show you, and they know this. It's right in the Bible.
Is it undisputed?
It's undisputed. It's right in the Bible. The Bible will tell you they worshipped her all over the world.
But a lot of people don't follow the Bible, brother.
Because it's been distorted.
If it comes out the Bible, or even if you say the word Jesus Christ as a reference, they're going to automatically shut you down.
Yeah, but we got to go into this.
So I think you got to go back into ancient Kemet and show out of there where it come from.
Let me just say this about ancient Kemet. Everybody continues to look at ancient Kemet. First and foremost, and I love ancient Kemet, but guess what? Our ancestors came from West Africa. Why is everybody just looking at Kemet? Now I'll tell you why we all looking at Kemet. The white man looks at Kemet. So anything that the white man do, we do. You understand me? The white man has made it important because guess what? He has continued the corrupt traditions of the priesthood. When you go to Rome and you look at the Vatican has been remade into the priesthood of Amun-Ra.
But that's not why we go back to Kemet.
But no, let me just say this to you. The reason why we go back to Kemet is because it is the most visual attraction for us.
And the oldest documents to be found.
But wait a minute now.
Okay.
Our ancestors, our direct ancestors came out of West Africa. So you can't, if you just focus on ancient Kemet, you're going to be doing yourself a disservice. Because now you're making Africa a very small place. Africa is a vast place, and we had vast mystery schools. So our ancestors that was in West Africa, they was just as powerful as those that was in East Africa. As a matter of fact, those that were in West Africa, many of them had migrated from those ancestors in the Nile Valley. But again, this is the question that you gotta ask yourself. If African people are the spiritual giants that we are the magical people that we are, and we had these vast civilizations all over the planet, how did we fall? Are you mean to tell me that the European was that bad? That he was that intelligent? That he was that strong? That a minority group of people were able to conquer the majority of the world's population of people? He was that tough? Is that what you're trying to say to me? Or is it something that we ourselves initiated? Could it have been that civilizations fall because of internal strife? Do governments crumble because of corruption at the political levels, at the inner levels of it? Is it that? I mean, right now, we come from the ghettos and slums of America. Do you think we have enough enough military power right now to go up against the United States?
Nope.
So do you mean to tell me people who did not even have shoes on their feet, had no science, was able to come and destroy our great civilizations? And we had many of them. Songhai, we had the Empire of Mali, we had Ghana, not only just in Africa, what about all of Europe? Europe is not European like we think. Europe is an African civilization. As a matter of fact, the name Europe was named after a black woman, the goddess Europa. We inhabited all of Europe. The original Romans were African. The original Greeks were African. The original Greeks were African. The original Asia Minor and Turkey, Asia, Arabs, all of that was Africans. Not only that, what about in America? Do you think that America wasn't inhabited by Africans as well? America is Western Africa, because at one time the whole planet Earth was connected. So when you're looking at America, you're looking at West Egypt. That's what you're looking at. So we were already here. And that's why they got those pyramids over there in Mexico. That's evidence that we were already here. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you, Kemet is a really good place to start with, but guess what? don't limit yourself to just Kemet. Because you signed a contract not with the Kemetics. Your contract was signed with those mothers and fathers that came out of West Africa. The ones that came out of West Africa that came over on them slave boats. Those are the ancestors that our loyalty must be given to. And their system was Voodoo. And Voodoo is the oldest spiritual system on the planet. It's just as old as anything in ancient Kemet. As a matter of fact, Voodoo is the very fundamental foundation of what was being taught in ancient Kemet. So, and if you don't believe me, all you gotta do is start researching Voodoo. I want to give a big shout out to Mama Zagbe. Gotta get her scholarship up in here. Mama Zagbe is the female Dr. Ben. Mama Zagbe is the female Dr. Ben. We gotta start giving credit to our scholars that are women. A lot of us don't even know who Mama Zagbe is. Her books are called Mami Wata 1 and Mami Wata 2, and then she has another book out called The Sibyls. She taught me a lot of things. I learned a lot of this stuff from Mama Zagbe. We gotta give her credit. We got Drusilla Dungy Houston. Drusilla Dungy Houston is, I consider, one of the most important works of the 19th century. She, in 1924, there was no, Dr. Ben didn't have any works out, Sheikh Anta Diop, and none of those guys had published work. It was a black woman, Drusilla Dungy Houston, who had one of the very first published Afrocentric scholarship books out. Yeah. Oh, the Moors. I love my brothers, the Moors. You know what I mean? All of our system. Now, Noble Jew Ali, he was on it. He knew about the matriarch because, as you can see, you see right here, there's a woman who was unconscious. Can you get that? You got a close-up of that?
Yeah, I got it.
And normally, he'll be carrying her in his arm. Right. And what it is that in the 101s of the Moorish Science Temple, it says, what was the purpose of the Moorish Science Temple coming to America? For the upliftment of fallen humanity. And when you look, you see the word humanity on a black woman that is unconscious. What was the meaning, what was the reason why the Moorish Science Temple of America came to America? For the upliftment of fallen humanity. So what it means is, when this woman becomes conscious, it's over with, homie. It's over with. The world knows this. The entire world knows this. We don't know it. There will be no peace on planet Earth until the African woman is placed back on the throne. If she is not placed back on that throne, if we do not give reverence to that mother that we came from, we will continue to stay slaves of white supremacy.
Let me ask you a question now. Who started the breakdown of the woman? I mean, was it the European or was it the African? I mean, which individual started to try to erase the black woman from the consciousness of the world or the universe?
It was the priesthood.
How did they go about it?
Well, the priesthood was always corrupt. They were always corrupt because they were jealous of the woman. And they wanted her power because she was very powerful. She was a magical giant. When I tell you that the woman had magic, when you read the scriptures of Jesus Christ, and when it said that he was healing the lame, raising the dead, and giving the blind sight, that, my friend, the African woman was doing. Now, when we say raising the dead, we don't mean physically from the dead. She was communicating with the spirits of the dead. So she was raising up the consciousness of the dead and communicating with them. This is how they got the knowledge, how to build pyramids, how to learn about different properties, because she was your first doctor. How do you think they learned about these different plants and stuff like that? She learned it from her ancestors. The African woman was very powerful, and on the 14th, we're going to discuss that. We're going to talk about the Sibyls. The Sibyls was the great last matriarch. The great last matriarch was the Sibyls. Look the word Sibyl up in Webster's dictionary. It means prophetess. the Old Testament, the Tanakh, this is where they got the prophecies from. Although they have corrupted it, although they have perverted it, it originally was wrestled out of the hands of these African women. And why do you think Rome is so important in Christendom? Why do you think the Vatican is in Rome? Because Rome was their last stronghold. This was the last stronghold of these African women. And people from all over the world came to bow down at their feet. The same way you can go and look at the Pope bowing down to the Black Madonna, that's how they came and bowed down to our mothers. And so any black man that's hating on that and saying, Tahuti, you're crazy. Tahuti, that's faggot stuff. You're the faggot and you're crazy. Because if you're in 2012 and you still worshiping penises, man, you got to get over that, man. You got to get over that.
Bring it out,
we
Tahuti.
come from the womb. You can, you know, a lot of people say, oh, brother, yeah, well, the woman is the physical, you know, she's the first on the physical plane, but the man come from the hidden spiritual plane. First and foremost, you don't know anything about the spiritual plane because you can't see it with these two eyes. You can see it with your inner eye, but with these two eyes, you have no insight on it. The spiritual plane, the metaphysical plane, the blueprint is the same. Matter of fact, they found these scrolls. When they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, they found the lost books of John. And in the lost books of John, he talks about that the spirit was the blueprint of the physical body. When they talk about the astral body is the blueprint of the physical body. When they're talking about, when they talk about the Holy Ghost, they call it in Hebrew the word ruach, ruach, and it is a feminine word. You see what I mean? So the soul is female. Really, there's only one sex. Now that sounds crazy because we've been bred in a patriarchal world, but it's really one sex, and that is the female. Men are without putting any sugar on it, but we're just masculine females. We come from them.
Let me ask you a question, man. Do you think that with you bringing this information, do you think it'll change the mindsets of most men when they understand how powerful their woman is?
Oh.
I'm talking about in the average household. When they find out that this woman is so unique and so powerful, do you think they start treating her better, or do you think it will be a jealousy thing going on?
I'm gonna tell you, for me personally, it changed my life. It totally changed my life. I was definitely a male chauvinistic pig. It was always about me as a man, and my woman always had to be submissive. She was always secondary but most necessary to me. But for me, once I started understanding the feminine principle, it changed my life. It made me a better man because now I have a relationship and an understanding with women. I really understand now the nature of the spirit, because when you're dealing with the spirit, you're dealing with the feminine principle. When you're dealing with the God, see, men say because I have this testosterone, this brutal strength, I can kick your butt, that makes me God. Well, that's a very European, Eurocentric ideal. You understand? Because now, in ancient times, the man was the first breadwinner because he would go out and he would hunt. He would go out and hunt and bring back the kill. But as the woman began to start learning about the different properties and agriculture came in, she became the breadwinner. But she gave the man great reverence and gave him the ability to be a king because he gave his life for her. When we would go out and hunt, we would give our lives for our wives. And we don't do that today. And that's the same type of energy we got to get back on. Those black men, our ancestors, they would give their lives for their wives. Imagine you in the jungle and you up against a lion and a tiger so you can go and feed your family. Those are the kinds of men we were. And those are the kinds of men we still are. We just a little sick because anybody that was raised up here in the wilderness of North America, you're gonna be ill. Because America is sick. America has a sickness and it's called racism. It's called white supremacy. We are bred under a white supremacy system, and so that, as a result, has made us ill. It has made us ill. But the moment we begin to get back in touch with our African spirituality, from the matriarchal, we're going to be gods again. We're not gods now. We're gods in the making, but when we get back in touch with that divine feminine, it's going to make you such a better man. And the relationship that you're going to have with your wife is going to be something supreme. There's nothing that you and that woman will not be able to conquer. It's nothing that you won't be able to conquer. You got to understand why the church has taken the woman out. They got Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Straight homosexuality. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. That's two penises. Where's the woman? They turned the woman into a damn ghost. You understand what I'm saying to you? They turned her into a ghost, and we are going for it. We are going for it. But they secretly know. They secretly know. That's why when the Pope got shot, he didn't go pray to Jesus. He went down in the basement and bowed down to the Black Madonna. And all over Europe, they worship the black woman. All over Europe, they worship her. They never stop worshiping her. You see what I mean? So, again, April 14th, Black and Nobel. We're going to be here. Come in the house. Your brother Tahuti, I'm going to drop that knowledge. I'm going to drop that science. It's going to be a great time. I want my brothers and sisters from Philly to come on out and support me. I do this for the love of my people. I will go anywhere, against any odds, against any danger, to drop this knowledge. And number one, don't forget, man, support Black and Nobel book. These brothers is doing something. Yo, listen, I can't explain how important Black and Nobel in the middle of the goddamn hood.
That's right.
When you come over here in Philly, you know it's gutter. This shit is gutter over here, homie. I'm on my hood shit right now. This shit is gutter. On some G shit. When I tell you it's gutter here, nigga, it's gutter. So, look, hold on. A bookstore, a black bookstore in the middle of where it's gutter, yo, that's big, homie. On some G shit, that's big. You know what I mean? Because they could be doing some other shit.
That's right.
They could be selling dope, because there's a lot of dope out here. They could be selling syrup. There's a lot of that shit out here. Pills or something else. But they in here giving away consciousness, man. This is big. I got...
Y'all doing it big. That's what it is.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it over there.